So Windows Server, there are different editions. As you know, we have installed the standard edition. Okay. There are data center editions, essentials, foundation. Okay, these are different editions. If you can just do the readings. The book data center is just for data center operations, where you don't have any services running except you have tons of data stored in it. You want to manage lots of data. So that's so you need a different specialized kind of operating system, or you need the operating system to behave in such a way so that it can handle huge volumes of data. So that is data center. Standard normal operations, standard server. So it's like it can deal everything. Now there is one more thing, that is standard core. If you have installed, there is standard core is standard core is just the CLI, no GUI. You don't have GUI like we have. So everything will be CLI. CLI means only commands. So right from the beginning login, everything you will do using CLI. Okay. So standard core is also famous because if you are not using a server for many things, you are just using for one or two things, you want to run one or two services, you can just quickly do it on the command. It is very fast because you are totally avoiding one whole layer, GUI layer. So everything will be very fast because you are using CLI. Okay. And you have essentials. They are scaled down versions. You can see there are different things. Virtual server instances, only 25. Okay. That means if you are installing virtual machines inside the server, you can have only 25 virtual machines. Means you can run only 25 operating system inside this operating system. Okay. Child operating systems. Foundation, again, there are a lot of limitations here. So which operating system or which edition we install depends upon what kind of role we need to execute. Okay. There are different kinds of roles, right? Okay, it depends upon a lot of things. Which one would be a certificate server? You know what is a certificate server? When I say a database server, you can understand that it's a database server. Okay, it runs database. When I say it's a web server, you can understand it's something that runs a website. What is a certificate server? Certificate server is a server that issues the certificates. Certificates.
For the browsers.
Yeah, anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything can need a certificate,
they're
right?
the one who give for the websites.
Yeah,
like
websites or anything,
Okay.
anybody, files. You know what do you mean by a certificate, right? A digital
Yes.
certificate is something that gives the authenticity to anything. Like if you show a certificate, a physical certificate, what does it mean? It means that you are certified on this thing. So if a browser is coming and saying that I'm the original browser, I'm the original eBay, or I'm the original whatever .com, okay, then how do you verify? You verify using the certificate. Okay, it's a digital hashed thing. So nobody can duplicate it, nobody can fake it. Okay, just like the cryptocurrencies. So who is issuing this? So this certificate server will be running those algorithms, this SHA-256 and those algorithms. There are many other algorithms, right?
Yes.
They will be inputting and doing those things. Right? So it's a very important role in corporate environments. And which ones would be you will use failover clustering? Failover clustering. So all these things matter when you choose the edition. So failover cluster, what do you mean by failover cluster? Failover?
Like fail safe or something.
Yeah, fail safe. No, not fail safe, fail over. let's say for example you are running a web application, website. Okay. Now you can think about any big web applications, websites like Facebook or any website. Okay. What if the website? What if the server running the website or the server running that service is down, crashed, and a whole lot of people will not be able to browse that website, right? So definitely you can think like there will be many servers doing the same job. So one server fails, the other server will take over. That's failover cluster. So it's a cluster. Cluster means group, a chain. Okay. So somebody will be playing the leading role on the chain. Somebody will head that. So as soon as the head goes down, the second head or the second leader will take over. Okay. They will be working jointly. So that's failover cluster. So any service that you run, okay, how you will do the failover cluster. Okay, and support for virtualization. We know what is virtualization, right? We are doing virtualization here.
Yes.
But this can also mean hardware virtualization. That is, in one server there are many operating systems side by side, running side by side. Okay, not as a dual boot. Like in these computers we have dual boot. We have Windows 7 and Windows 10, right? Not like that. One operating system, one hardware, you have hundreds of operating system running at the same time, side by side. That's virtualization. So how much virtualization will this support? Okay, as a Windows server. Normally we don't use Windows Server for virtualization, but if you do, okay, we use VMwares for virtualization. In Windows Server we have something called Hyper-V for virtualization. This is just like the VMware, okay, but this is from Microsoft. Hyper-V. VMware is from VMware. Okay, so they are giving the limits, how many instances of virtual machines can run. Okay, so like that, it will differ. Installation requirements are very optimal. Maximum hardware. There is also a maximum limit. You cannot just 4 TB RAM. You cannot build up to 4 TB RAM. Because maybe it's too big. You can have 640 processors, microprocessors. You can have 64 nodes, failover nodes. So you can. It's a pretty big scale, right?
Hindi na babago lang. Kung ano kung personal computer.
TV.
Oo, ang dami na.
So if you are wishing to install a standard with only server core, it will look like this. You will only have a command prompt. Okay, from the command prompt you can start anything.
Yes.
Any other command prompts like what is that called? There is an advanced command prompt, right?
The color blue one.
Yeah. What is that called?
Super something.
Somewhere.
Yeah, those things you can start.
And then perhaps
Now you would wonder why we have to use a CLI operating system. See, these are the advantages. Hardware resource conservation. Literally you don't need graphic card. You don't need graphic card. You can use that somewhere else. Disk space, path frequencies. It doesn't have to refer the GUI components. Reduced attack surface. Okay. All those are some of the advantages. Okay, so that's just an introduction. Now you see these are all the roles that we will study in the future. Roles available in server core installation, roles not available in server core. Anyway, these are the roles. You see already we installed DNS, right? And Active Directory Domain Services. These two things we have installed. There are certificate services. Okay, it depends upon what your server is going to be. If your server is going to be a certificate server, certificate services. LDS, rights management services, DHCP, the one which gives IP addresses. Hyper-V, that is high virtualization. This role we already have. This role by default you will have remote access, IaaS, update services. So normally we don't install everything, we install only the things which are in demand, features or roles. Okay, features on demand. But whatever we need, only then we enable it. Okay. You have enable, disable, and disable with payload removed. What does it mean? So when you disable something, it may have its historical data stored, right? Any service, any feature. So you want to remove the data also, you can do like this. But for that you have to run this thing. Yeah, that blue thing is PowerShell.
Ah, yes, PowerShell.
PowerShell.
PowerShell. The power.
Edition ng data center. Yung foundation ng pinaka-worst. Kasi parang nakikita ko ang unlimited data. Pero wala kasi tayo sa practical part na kaya hindi natin talaga parang hindi natin ginagamit parang
Yung ginagamit lang natin.
kung ginagamit natin
Server.
There are different options given how to upgrade from old servers to 2012 and how do you migrate. Migration means replacing an existing server with this new 2012 server. How do you replace from 2003, 2012? You have to install the migration tools. So this is what we are doing, right?
ano ba sabihin yung CLI? Yung console? Yung nasa edition ba yan? Kasi yan, pinapakita niya. Tapos, pwede kang pinapakita. Ito nga, parang GUI ito nga. Meron tayo. Kikita natin. Hindi natin kinakumanda.
CLI ba? CLI.
CLI. Sir, CLI, right?
CLI.
Yeah, character line interface.
Command line.
Character line interface. Sorry, command line interface.
Command line.
Or CU, some people say CUI also.
CUI.
Character user interface.
So the best edition is data center and the lowest edition is foundation?
No, data center and standard. Data center you will use only in data centers.
Okay.
Standard you can use anywhere.
And
They are
for
not-
essential and foundation,
Foundation they are scaled down editions.
they are all like, for example, Windows Server, it's a graphics user interface. What's with the CLI one? What edition
That
is
is standard core.
Standard
When you
core?
install in the VMware you had the options, right? You want a standard or standard core. When you install it, you'll ask you.
Mas siguro advanced ka pag puro commands. Kasi first spin. Yan naman ba?
Kasi
Yung 80s?
Kasi yung pinipilit.
Oo. Pwedeng palitan yung pindutin mo ng something. Hindi kasi core. Virus na ito. Hindi na previous. Kaya yung parang WCF na yun, yung minsan din-design natin yung yung interface para sa user. Kasi hindi sila mag-command. Ay, sorry. WPF, hindi sila mag kasi mag-command. Kaya lalagyan natin mga buttons.
WCF.
We started the classes last week. Why? What happened? Leave. Finished. Have you got any certificates in technomines?
We did not have nothing. I have worked during that day.
Okay. If you have certificates, you can collect next 23rd on the graduation ceremony. I don't think the graduation will be on.
Yeah, they said we're not
Already there are too many students.
Yes, too
We
many.
should wait till next September.
Yeah.
I have given you a link for the student. Next September. If you will get the graduation.
It's for
Mark,
third year.
right?
Yeah. Mark.
But I think you'll have to wait till next September.
Nagkakanaka.
Hindi siguro ako sa ibang araw.
Try mo.
Ikaw
Itong third year and second
magaling
year.
talaga siya.
Ayaw ko naman.
Install the VMware and install operating systems, everything in the DS student. You have to install a Windows Server and a Windows 8. Meanwhile, just watch what I am doing. You have to do it. Okay. So far we have installed Windows 8 and Windows Server 2008. We have installed the roles, right? I think we haven't promoted. Did we promote? We promoted, right? So it's a domain? Yeah, prime.com. Okay. You have a domain name, right?
Oh wait, no. Last session you just told us to change the computer name and the third part and add roles and features, and that's pretty much it.
So we promoted the server, right, to domain controller. Then we gave a domain name.
Oh, from the post-development configuration.
Just promote the server, give a domain name, add a new forest. Add a new forest, give a domain name. You should have a domain name first.
Yeah, I've been clicking this, but nothing shows up.
I think you require, maybe it's minimized. See, just press Control Alt Enter. Enter.
Oh, for full screen.
Should be somewhere here. See, minimize.
Here?
Yeah. Go back. You gave the name, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
This one? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just finish it. Fix it.
So should we download VMware on the computer?
It's there in DS installed.
Ito pa yung dati kong in-install ko sa add features.
This you have installed, and these two things you have
Wala
installed.
akong Windows.
Then sa add roles and features, maintain mo ulit yung manage, add roles and features. Then dun sa taas yung manage. Add roles and
Hindi nga
features. Sige. Back. Sige, next. Sa pan. Yung mampan.
Patlas.
Yung mampan. Saan? Basta nabuksan ko yun. Actually, that research configuration research. Saan yung first one? Hindi ko maalala. Basta nung pag-open ko siya ako. Deployment configuration.
Naging slow.
Ayan, active data.
Holy shit.
Hindi rin sa akin. Hindi pwede.
Okay, bakasyon na wala sa Wii. Dati pong bilis ako.
Hindi ko rin alam. Basta na-open up ko. Susunod na sunod na. Sige, sige. Sir, how can you bring this up again? Because I forgot how we bring this up. Because I thought this was add roles and features. I was like, under here.
Promote this.
Promote this and promote the server to a domain controller. Sige, buksan mo yan. Yes, so yung promote the server. Promote the server.
This one?
No, link this. Add roles and features. Sa taas. Sa balik. Yeah. Add roles and promote the server.
You can just like
Yeah.
especially when you find in case for one thing we did.
Ito yung sabi ko yung checking part. Kala ko part na yung say. Add new first. Tapos lagay mo na name. Lagay ka name. Server. Copy.com.
May labi yung kasi. Lagay mo.
Sir, no need for www, right? Just prime.com for you.
You can give any name.
Okay. Once, check mo pagdating sa checking process, hindi ako makapasok.
Serious?
Check mo ito ba? Cannot continue. Sa kanya, yung time na yun, sabi, tinanong ko kanya, install mo lang. Pero wala, yung work group, ang pangalan work group pa, hindi install. So, check natin sa matagal yan. Pero gaganin.
Not too much.
Sir, for the prerequisite check, you did had some errors, but it went fine, completely, right? For me, it's giving out this rerun prerequisite check, and I think I'm lacking something, and I can't install. Yeah, that's password never expires.
So making a domain or promoting the domain to a domain controller is the last basic thing you have to do. After that, you have to add these clients to the domain. Now I have created a domain called prime.com, right? After I installed the ADDS role, I promoted it. I gave a name. There is a restart and all. So this step, how to add the client to the domain. Okay, first you have to check the connectivity. There will be connectivity, but still you can check. Okay. So what's the IP address of the server? It's 83.129, right? So you can check the connectivity from command ping.
Computer.
Okay, so there is connectivity.
Lahat.
Oh, yeah.
No, he loves
Crash na. Kasi dami naman. Hindi nagre-respond ng Windows 8.
Because
Ayun.
so
I'm not sure.
I used to love this how that's how you know. It's not very cool.
IPv6 design ba? Enable na ang sulat. IPv6 enable.
Yeah, he's a show. Yeah.
Nag-hang na.
Yung ano na.
Ayan.
Okay na.
Lagyan mo talaga. Ayan. IPv6.
132.
You are just checking whether client server is connected. Okay, then from the system properties, just like you change the name, change settings, change. This is on the client, okay? So you know there are two things, right? A client, if it has to be in a group, it can be in a work group. That is just simply a group. No head. Nobody is heading the group. Everyone has equal permissions, right? But if you are adding it to a domain, it's a special group where the server is a domain controller. So now we have a domain, right? That is a Windows server is heading. My domain name is prime. What is my domain name? Prime.com, right? So that I will give you here. Click OK.
Same.
If you have errors, it probably because of the DNS server. Because prime.com, it's a name, right? So the name has to be transmitted to an IP address. And who will do the job? DNS server. And who is the DNS server for this client? This client, who is the DNS server for this client? Check your network adapter settings, properties, IPv4. Okay, obtain DNS server address automatically. Okay, so this it's like this is the only client we have. There is nothing above it. So there is no DNS server actually. So it's not able to resolve the name. So we have the DNS server in the network. That's the server itself. So you have to give the server's IP here, the DNS server. What is my server's IP? 192.168.83.1. That's my IP. Okay. So on the client, for the client, the server is the DNS server. And for the server, the host computer is the DNS server. And for the host computer, our router, Aptech router is the DNS server. For Aptech router, Oridu is the DNS server. For Oridu, the public DNS is the DNS server, where you have all the records. Okay, so it's like a chain. So that's where it derives all the names to IP addresses. Click OK for that. So you have to give the DNS server address, the address of the server. Okay, the address of the server. Give it to the client's DNS server. IP address, it can be automatic. Okay, IP address you can keep it automatic, no problem. Obtain automatically. That means it's coming from the host computer.
How you get this IP?
This is the server's IP. Not IPv6, IPv4. We are not using IPv4.
I mean, in properties of this one.
Version 4?
I see.
Properties of adapter, yeah.
Properties.
Version 4.
IPv4.
Okay.
Scroll now.
It's giving me this Windows security window now to type in the username and password.
Yeah. You have to give the username. What's the username of server? Administrator. Now you click again. Okay. So it's asking domain, you see prime.com. So you have to enter the credential of the server. Administrator. There are the right? So this is the administrator of the server, okay? Not the local administrator.
Yung pangalan. Yung same na IP address na ginamit para sa Windows server yung dito. Okay. Tapos, pasok ka dun sa kanina mong ginawa dito yung vanguard.com. So, okay. So, type mo yung administrator yung username, password mo yung dito.
Oops. See, naghang.
Kabalan na ako.
Crash na naman.
It's your computer crashing here. Yeah.
Crash din sa'yo.
It requires a restart after this.
Double.
Crash na. Oh, shit.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Administrator. Oh, yeah. Nandun ako sa file server. You must restart your computer to make all these changes. Ano siya? Manual natin.
Hintay mo. Matraffic.
So it should be like this when you add, it becomes domain.com. So computer name would be 98.com.
Yan yung password mo sa mami mo, diba?
Nangyari ito. Ano yung password? Hindi ba?
Walang password. I-enter mo.
Kung ano nasa domain.
Nandiyan na. Kaya mayroon ka na website. Pwede mag-ito rin. Ikaw nagsha-shopping ka naman. What do you do for a living? Bitcoins, and I have to have a website. You can contact me from here. Okay, ikaw yung sa support. Sign in ka. Getting Windows ready. So, nasa ano pa naman? Updates. Hindi pa siya nag-start talaga.
These are the roles, right?
Yes,
Files, storage services. So dashboard is just the dashboard, right? Local server, the details about the server. If you have many servers, you can manage all the servers from here. You don't have to go to that server. If you want to install a role on that server, you can do it from here. Okay, right now, we want to do ADBs, Active Directory Domain Services. We want to add things to the domain. Right, so any role, you can select and you can right click here and you can do what? Active Directory users and computers. Yeah, right click in this.
Sir, is it post?
You click ADS, right?
Oh, okay.
And right click here. Active directory, users and computers.
Ito, from the look natin.
So just like you add users,
Right click.
Ah,
okay, so you have your domain, open the domain. You can add computers, you can add users, you can add domain controllers, but right now you have only one domain controller, that's this one. You can add computers to it, you have only one computer, it's already added. Users, there are a lot of built-in users and groups, right? You know the concept of groups, right? These groups have different permissions. You can make different users, like say for example, domain admins. If you make a user and if you add that user to this group, you will get certain permissions, which others don't have. Like say for example, DNS admins. So those users will have. So if you want to make a new user, right now you just want to make new users.
ito.
So right click, new
Users.
user. Okay, so this is how you make a user. Right click, new user. You can right click anywhere.
User.
Okay, you can make the user. You can do the first name,
Yeah,
last
yeah.
name.
Take it.
Yeah, Luis, it's okay.
Username.
Last name.